First look at GCAM 7.4 running on the Xiaomi Poco F1. Hey peeps, what's up? Manchi here, back with another video, and in this video we're going to have our first look at GCAM 7.4 running on the Poco F1. As you can see, I do have the Poco F1 which is running MIUI 11.0.8.0 based on Android 10. It has been quite some time since I made a GCAM video for the Poco F1, and that was because there wasn't anything new which was added. But now with GCAM 7.4, we have two new very exciting features which have been added for the Poco F1. The first one is motion photos, and then you also have motion tracking. And these are two features which were previously available only on the Pixels, but guess what? You can now use them on the Poco F1. Now as you can see, I already have Sanity's build installed, but the APK which we are going to use will work in parallel with Sanity's Gcam as well. So we'll go into File Manager, More, APKs, and these are the APKs which you need. So you need BSG's 7.4 Gcam APK, and yes, this is a cloned APK. Then you need the latest build of AR Core in case you want to use your playground stickers, and you also need the latest build of Playground, which will install absolutely fine, and any AR sticker packs which you want to use. So you need to install them in the order in which you see them on the screen: 1, 2, 3, and 5. Another thing I would like to mention is that in case you do not use Playground and AR stickers, then you do not have to install AR Core and the Playground and of course the AR stickers APKs. You can only install the GCAM 7.4 clone APK and be done with it. And here it is. Here is GCAM 7.4 APK. And if we go into the information tab and tap on information one more time, you will see that the package name is org.codeaurora.snap.car. Now, in case the 7.4 APK is not installing for you, then you'll have to check your GCAM APKs and see if any of them have the same package name. Then you will have to remove that application. Next thing, once you have opened the information about the GCAM, make sure you clear the data once so that you do not have any conflicts with any other GCAM APKs which are installed. And bam, here it is. You do need to give it a few permissions when you open it for the first time, and as you can see, you do have it working like a boss with no lag in the camera UI. Let us first go into the settings and check out the settings. So save location is turned off, however you are free to turn it on in case you want to. Same applies for camera sounds as well. Google Lens suggestions, I have turned it on. Framing hints again turned on and they work absolutely fine. Save selfie as previewed, yes, this is a very good feature and I have of course turned it on. Social share is also enabled, and you have to specifically enable it for the applications in which you want to use social share. Next up, for gestures, these are the actions which I have set for the volume key rockers. Grid type is off, advanced, show dirty lens warning is enabled, HDR plus control is also enabled. I do not use RAW, so that is disabled, and same applies for store videos efficiently. For photo, of course, full resolution. And yes, make sure you do enable EIS. Now the Poco F1 does not have OIS, so there's no point in enabling OIS. Next up we have mod settings. So I have disabled the AF data hide, which is your autofocus information on the screen, and I'm not sure on this option of disable OpenGL preview, so I just left it disabled. And you can of course enable or disable zoom in portrait mode. So those are the settings which I am using. We can now dive over to the first option. So you have night sight mode, and these are the different options you get in night sight. You can set your timer for astro, then in case you want to enable or disable Google AWB, so this option is throughout all the camera modes. Then you have a timer, again throughout the camera modes you have this option of timer. You also have focus set to auto, near or far, and then you can of course change the ratio. Now moving over to the selfie camera on the front, the different options which you get with the selfie camera are of course selfie illumination. You have face retouching in night sight mode, however I'm pretty sure you're not going to use that. And you also have Google AWB along with the option of timers. And yes, astro mode works absolutely fine along with night sight mode from both the front camera and the rear camera. Next up we have portrait mode. So in portrait mode again, you have the option of face retouching, and yes, it works absolutely fine, along with the option of enabling or disabling your flash. And then you have your toggles for Google AWB, and you also have HDR plus and HDR plus enhanced. Now do note that on the Poco F1 you cannot turn off HDR, so you have to either use HDR plus or HDR plus enhanced. Now another thing I would like to mention is that this is a very initial build of GCAM 7.4. So HDR plus and HDR plus enhanced, if you take a picture you won't notice a difference. So I think HDR plus enhanced is broken in this build. However, I might be wrong, and in case you do notice a difference, do let me know via comments below. Moving over to the selfie mode in portrait, you do have the option of selfie elimination, and again face retouching works absolutely fine along with your Google AWB and your HDR plus options. Now as for the pictures you take in portrait mode, everything works absolutely fine. The pictures are good, and your save selfie as previewed also works like a boss. Next up we have the normal camera mode. Now this is where we have a few important features which you will find only in GCAM 7.4. Other than the flash option, you do have the option of toggling between Google AWB as on and as off. This option works absolutely fine, and you can clearly see the difference in pictures which are taken with Google AWB off and with Google AWB on. An interesting feature over here is motion photos. So it works only in HDR plus mode. As soon as you move over to HDR plus enhanced, it won't work. Now motion photos works absolutely fine and works like a boss. And this is the only Gcam which is available right now which can do motion photos. Previous versions of Gcams like Gcam 7.3 could not do motion photos, and that is because BSG has ported motion photos. And what is the advantage of motion photos? Well, for starters, you have different options. You can either turn motion photo off, auto, or on. Now here is a picture which I took, and bam, you have to open it in Google Photos and you can see it is a motion photograph. Now what is the advantage of motion photo? So let's say you're taking a picture of a lot of people, and then there is always a scenario wherein somebody has their eyes closed. So if I swipe up in Google Photos, I can now see all the shots which are available in this photograph, and I can move between the different timelines. And then let's say I want to save this one, so I'll tap on the top right corner and say save a copy, and bam, there it is. A copy of the photograph was saved. And this is the advantage. So let's say you have a picture wherein you have 10 people, and at one point some of them has their eyes closed, and then you can go through the timeline, and when their eye is open you can save that as a copy. So a pretty nifty feature, and me personally I am very impressed with BSG for bringing this feature to Gcam ports. Another impressive feature which has been ported is motion tracking. So what is motion tracking? So let's say I have an object in front here, right? So I have this USB drive. Let's say I lock the focus on 128 GB. So you can see that when I am moving my device, the focus is still locked on the text of 128 GB. And where does this feature come useful? Well, it is useful in case you're taking pictures of an object which you know is going to move a little bit while you're taking the picture. So the focus is retained, and this is also one of those features which was previously not ported for Gcams, but now it has been ported, so it is again very impressive. Other than that, if you move over to the selfie camera in camera mode, you have the option of selfie elimination, face retouching, Google AWB, and HDR plus on or off. But in this build of Gcam 7.4 for the Poco F1, HDR plus enhanced is broken. Other than that, the pictures are taken absolutely fine and they look great as well. And before I forget, social sharing also works. So let's say I take a picture, swipe up, and bam, here it is. You can see I have the option of sharing it on Google Duo, and you will get other applications as well, but make sure you enable them in the settings first. Moving over to video mode. Another impressive video mode over here, because you can toggle between 1080p and 4K. Then you can choose 24 fps, 30 fps, or 60 fps. And the best part, EIS works in 24 fps and 30 fps. in 1080p and in 4K. 60 FPS EIS does not work, but that is how it has been for quite some time. Moving over to the More tab, you have Panorama, and yes, Panorama works absolutely fine, and there are no dark or black lines which we used to get in previous Gcam ports. Then you have Photosphere, and yes, Photosphere also works absolutely fine. Here is a photosphere I have taken, and there it is. You can see works absolutely fine, and the colors are also very impressive. Next up in More we have slow motion. So this is the only feature which is broken right now. Soon as you try to use it, the camera application is going to crash. So me personally, I recommend that you use Sanity's APK, which is linked in the description of the video in case you want to use slow motion. Next up we have time lapse, and yes, you can record in 1x, 5x, 10x, 30x, or 120x in time lapse mode, and yes, it works absolutely fine. Next up we have playground. So yes, playground works absolutely fine. Now I did get comments on my previous video that the APK was not working well. We have a new APK from Aronova which can be found in the description of this video, so make sure you install that, and then you should have playground working like a boss. And you can always tap on this icon to get whatever superhero you want to add, and you can take pictures with your superheroes or with Childish Gambino, and you can also record videos. All of those features are working absolutely fine on this GCAM 7.4 build for the Poco F1. So what is my final take on this GCAM 7.4 port? Well, my final take is that this APK you can install with other APKs because we have cloned applications available. You can use this for your EIS videos, your motion tracking, and your motion photographs. In case you want to use HDR plus enhanced, you can always use Sanity's build along with slow motion. You can always use Sanity's build for slow motion videos as well. Other than that, it is great to see Poco F1 get new Gcam features like motion photos, motion tracking. It is, I mean, a device which is so old, getting new Gcam features is definitely something very impressive. And there it is, peeps. That was our first look at Gcam 7.4 running on the Poco F1, and that will do it for this video. Hope my video helped you. Likes, shares and subscribes are appreciated. Feedback and comment more than welcome. See you when I see you.